Guys, welcome to the Stormcast recording. Salut. So this is actually take 2 of this recording. I'd already started this process and then I had to deal with an infestation of a magnitude that I never expected and I've not experienced in a long time. So that was crazy. My people will say that my enemies are after me, but the devil can never win. So it doesn't matter. I'm going to record this podcast. Almost didn't, not going to lie to you. It's a little bit stressful, but we move. Anyways, let's get into what today's episode is about. And today I want to share some of the insights that I gained very recently from my last trip. That's really what's kind of been in my spirit. Insights from sunny San Diego. I am growing, I am stretching, I am evolving, and it's kind of cool. Let me tell you what I mean. The last week, I spent about a week in San Diego, and it was for INTA, which is the International Trademarks Association annual gathering, where they sort of gather all trademark and intellectual property professionals together in one space. And this is almost like a full circle moment for me because I attended last year for the first time, and that was in Atlanta. I think they spend 2 years in the States and then they kind of move around. And it was a big part of my decision to re-enter full-time legal practice, as well as pursuing my creative life of being an actor. And I know a lot of people are like, how do you find the time? Trust me, it's challenging, but it's completely worth it. So attending last year was nerve-wracking for me. For multiple reasons, because I had been out of practice for so long. It felt very much like imposter syndrome. It felt very much like, what are you doing here? Do you know what you're doing? But a lot of the work that happens at these conferences is really just networking and getting people to know about the firm, that it exists, etc. And because, hey, thanks to my entertainment life, I'm pretty good at the networking thing. I can switch it on. I know how to work that. I thought I can lend my skill set to the firm in this way. And from the minute that I decided to leave law, and I always felt it was temporary, I always knew that I wanted to bring my skill sets and expertise back into the firm in whatever way I could. And I generally felt that my experience in the entertainment space would lend itself quite naturally to my experience or work in the legal space. And now, very many years later, that's what I'm finding and that's what I'm discovering, and it's really exciting. But beyond that, for me, being a lawyer is an exercise in intellectual rigor. It's an exercise in detail. It's an exercise in doggedness and perseverance. And it was something I really missed, to be honest with you. I know that in my creative life, that comes through in certain ways, but not the same. The intellectual stimulation that I get practicing as a lawyer, helping clients, being faced with a variety of challenges of different sorts, and again, just being stretched anew, like learning again. That's kind of what's happening now, and I love that I'm in this new growth phase of my life. And I really just wanted to take this moment. A big reason why I wanted to share it with you guys is because very often as adults, we hit a plateau. We hit a point where things are kind of the same. We do things by roads. There's no more real growth. There's no more real stimulation. And even if there is, we're not looking for it anymore. So you kind of, you flatline a little bit. You sort of plateau out. And that's no good. What I'm experiencing now is akin to what I experienced, I think, in my 20s a little bit, when the world was sort of my oyster. I was game for different challenges. I wanted to try new things. I wanted to stretch myself. I wanted to push myself. I didn't think too much about the consequences of failing. I just wanted to do. And even when people told me, yeah, that's crazy, that's a crazy idea, I'm like, yes, so let's do it. And that's what's happening now. And it's so great to know that even in my late 30s, almost 40s, that's the energy I'm in. And it's a reminder again. And I know we see the memes online. We see the cute little posts that are like, oh, you can do anything you want to do. It's never too late. You're never too old. But sometimes we feel like we're too old. That's the truth. Sometimes we feel like we're too old. Sometimes it feels like it's too late. But I'm telling you, this feeling I'm having right now, this feeling right now, it's giving 20s energy, and I love it. Yes, I am still tired. Yes, I'm definitely not as energetic as I was in my 20s, but I'm way wiser. I'm a lot smarter. I'm a lot more astute. I'm a lot more self-assured. I'm a lot more aware of myself. And that is its own strength, that is its own set of skills. And I really just hope that for anyone who's listening, if you feel like you're stuck in a rut, like really start examining and re-examining things that set your soul alight. No matter how geeky it seems, no matter how random it seems, no matter how impossible it seems, I will always be an advocate for that. Especially because something I used to say a lot in my 20s, the thing that you do for work is what you spend most of your adult life doing. So make sure that you're choosing it. Make sure it's something that you want to do. Somebody during this intertrip, when they discovered that, you know, I live a slash life, as Brene Brown would put it, you know, I'm an actor slash lawyer, I'm a lawyer slash actor. They're like, yeah, but which do you really enjoy? Which is the one that you really like? And I was like, honestly, both. Honestly, all my creative endeavors, all my endeavors, I genuinely enjoy. I genuinely love because I've chosen it. Nobody has forced me to do anything. There's been no, oh, you have to, you don't have a choice. There's been no pressure in the chat room. I mean, if other people try to apply pressure, it not really consign me. It not consign me. If you want to pressure me, that's none of my motherfucking business. You understand? I have chosen what I'm doing. And as a result, I'm so thankful. I'm so grateful. I'm so eager to learn. I'm so eager to grow. I'm so eager to achieve the highest levels of excellence that I can with what I'm given. And I'm hypercritical, especially of myself. I don't think anyone is more critical of me than I am of me. And anyone who knows me will tell you that. My friends will tell you that. But it's also something that I'm working on and I'm working to overcome, because that hypercritical thing, that perfectionism, that fear of failure, it's really just fear. It's fear in different forms, and fear continues to manifest itself in different guises, in different forms, and fear will kill you while you're still living. So you must learn to recognize that fear and overcome it. I'm going to take a moment here to say that it is now raining because my enemies are trying to stop me, but they're never going to stop me. I hope you can't hear the rain, but even if you do, it is what it is. It's a Stormcast. Rap. The heavens are opening up for me, and we're going to keep moving in this direction. So into 2025, San Diego lit, super sunny, super great. Unlike the previous year where I was really timid, I was really concerned, but I still did the thing afraid anyways. This year, I went in a lot more self-assured. I'm still nervous. I had client meetings that I was nervous about, purely because the trademarks registry in Nigeria, for any lawyers listening, the trademarks registry in Nigeria is trying to choke us. Yeah, it's having a lot of problem and it's causing issue for us. So a number of the intellectual property lawyers of Nigeria, and there is an intellectual property lawyers advocacy network, it's called Implan. We even had a meeting in San Diego because a number of those lawyers were at Inter, because it's essentially, if you're established in IP, you would have been at that meeting. It's one of the largest ones in the world. So we had our own meeting because all of us are having to have very awkward meetings with our clients to say, oh, we know that you have like all these trademarks and there's all these issues and that this data is lost. This because that's what's happening in the registry. Information is being lost, data is being lost, things are being slowed down because of lack of technical competency, which is a little bit shocking and surprising because the CAC has been able to adjust that. But you know, let me not be a negative Nelly, but it's a real problem. It's a real problem for our clients, which means it's a real problem for us. Because if the clients are not getting the thing that they need, we also cannot bill clients. You understand how it's an economic problem? It's also a problem for the country because that is a very good source of foreign direct investment. So for the trademarks registry to not be functioning the way that it needs to be functioning efficiently or relatively efficiently, or just not losing information, is a problem. We take offense. We have issue. So having to have these meetings with certain clients, you're a little bit nervous going in because you're like, yo, how do I have to say this again? Big shout out to our clients though. They're really understanding, especially those who've kind of been working and dealing in the space. They sort of know what's going on, but it's still very embarrassing. I had one client actually say to me, when I said, oh, I'm so sorry, this is really awful. It's not the best situation, but we are working on it. We're trying to have a meeting with the minister, Minister Oduwole. So anyone who knows her, tell her I said hi. We're trying to multi-prong approach this to explain how serious of an issue it is and why it needs to be resolved as soon as possible. And so when I was telling this client, he goes, oh, no, but you guys are not the worst. I said, oh, really? Who else is really bad? What's going on? He goes, well, Iraq, Iran. They are laughing at us outside. They are comparing us to full-fledged war zones. Let me leave that matter. That was awkward though. But even that aside, I will still say that I am thoroughly enjoying this phase of my life. This growth phase is challenging, it's stretching me, but I like it. A good stretch is nice. You know what I'm saying? Like a good stretch is nice. And the heavens agreed. Stormcast, let's go. Okay, now since we're also on the topic of stretching, the other thing I really wanted to address in this new growth phase of my life is how I've been stretching dating-wise. So if you've been following the Stormcast, you'll know that I've been talking a little bit about dating, how I'm sort of testing out online dating and just in-life dating and just trying to be a little bit more involved and proactive in that experience. And it's an interesting experience, I will say. I don't know how successful I'm being, I'll be honest. But listen, anyone who's out there, like working professionals in their 30s and 40s, how are you guys doing it? How are you navigating this dating experience? Because I'm also in this really exciting growth phase work-wise, anything that is not, or anyone that is not really holding my attention, I'm trying to say this in like, maybe not just intellectually, but like I have competing interests for my attention at the moment, especially now. So, and in a way that requires a lot of my attention. Like law is not a joke, acting is not a joke, and I'm picking scripts. I'm trying to be intentional. Speaking of scripts, Red Circle is out this weekend. We premiere. 6th of June is around the corner, but I'll come to that. I'll come to that. There are a lot of competing interests for my attention currently, which means that with the online dating that I tried, very quickly I like just fell off. I got bored. I also maybe have an attention span issue for certain things. Call it ADHD. I don't know. I've never been diagnosed. Maybe it's something I should look into. Do I care enough to? I don't know. I kind of fell off of that very quickly. The bumble wasn't bumbling. The bees were not giving what the bees were needing to give. You know what I'm saying? It was not. And I felt like the pool was very shallow in terms of quality. So I got out of the pool. Did I get out? I just kind of left the pool to the side and I'm sunbathing in the sun of other things. You know the metaphor, whatever. So there's that. In-person dating as well has been interesting because I've gone on a couple of dates with, you know, like just kind of cool people that I like in general as people and human beings. The question is where it's going? I'm very much in also the frame of mind where I really want to connect with people. Like I really want us to connect as friends, and that takes time, and that takes, I think, patience. And old me, I would have just leaned into, you know, that base attraction that even makes you say yes at all to a date, and you just kind of lean into it and it sort of spirals. I don't know about anybody else, but for me, like, I'm very good at like emotional amplification. So it would just spiral. I would just allow the thing to spiral. And I've said no to that this year especially because I'm not interested in that. It can be very distracting to be caught up in an emotional spiral, especially where there is no real emotional commitment, especially from the other side. And not even just an emotional commitment, because you can't be committing out of thin air. You can't be committing for no reason. You've got to build that, and that takes time. It takes a little conversation sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. But whatever the case may be, I'm unmoved. Oh, the heavens agree. I'm just kind of unmoved. I'm learning that there should be no shame and there should be no guilt in not responding as quickly as you would have in the past, or sometimes as quickly as maybe the person that you're going on dates with might want you to. I know that we live in a world and a society where things can speed up very quickly, and you know, it can be nice. It's nice to get that itch scratched, you know. I do get itchy. But it's not that deep. I can scratch myself. And that's really important. It's really important to just know that for anything long lasting and worthwhile, people have to earn it, and you've got to be patient with yourself and with other people. And also, like, it just needs to click the way that it needs to click, you know? And this goes not just for romantic relationships, but for friendship relationships as well. I'm still stretching in that way also. I'm noticing a change in my friendship dynamics, which, you know, that's its own kind of emotional upheaval. It's its own kind of emotional turmoil. And maybe not maybe that's being dramatic, but it's its own kind of emotional moment, you know? I love my people. I love my friends. I love being able to be there for my friends. I love being able to show up for them whenever they need me, for whatever it is they need me for. Especially because I don't think my friends ask for too much in general, people that I'm friends with. Because of the kind of person I am, I don't really spend a lot of time with people who I feel are excessively demanding. I don't have the patience for it. Again, I just don't. I'm my father's daughter. I won't do it. You cannot blackmail me to do something, you know? But there are times when I want to. There are times when something big is coming up for a friend, or I know that a friend is in need and I want to be there for them. In the past, I'll just show up. Whatever I'm doing, I can pause it. Whatever work it is, no, I'll take time out of work. I'll go there. But I'm, again, steady hitting a phase of my life where my energy reserves are not infinite. I am getting older. I am doing a lot. I do have a lot of work, and it is work that is important to me. I'm in a very important growth phase of my life where I really want to build. I want to build in so many ways, and I'm building and I'm nurturing, and I may not be a mother of a human, but I am mothering my dreams really, like, in an intense way at the moment. And it's overwhelming in its own ways, and it's tiring in its own ways. And it's so much harder to communicate sometimes with friends and with other people, because especially if they're friends who have children themselves and who have the outward, for whom it is obvious on the outside, right, that they have these trappings and responsibilities. If yours are on the inside, if you're a mother of dreams and you're a mother of ambition and you're a mother of these other things, the world is less accepting of it a little bit. And it makes me Shengbo, you hear it? Yeah. The world can be less accepting of it. And I don't know that it makes me sad. Maybe it makes me a little bit whimsical, because I'm really just realizing that nobody's going to fight for your dreams, and nobody's going to fight for the birth of the thing you want to birth more than you. So you must just fight for it. And that is the nature of your friendships evolving, because I believe that my friends understand. I mean, they may not understand in the moment where they need me, and I may not, for whatever reason, be able to be there in that exact minute. But I believe that I've built the kind of friendships that will evolve beyond that. And yes, the dynamic may change, and yes, it may seem scary, but I think we're all trying to figure out how that goes. And that's exciting in its own way as well. It can be sad because as humans, we get scared about losing the thing that we know in the form that we know in the way that we know it. But I think it's beautiful to allow things to evolve and to put aside shame. And there are a lot of shame triggers. Again, shout out to Brené Brown. I've been rereading my Brené Brown books. Okay, so there's a book called Daring Greatly, which I recommend for everyone to read. Super important. And that talks about some shame triggers as well. And there's another one I just finished. The name is escaping me, but it's about imperfections. I'll find the name and I'll let you guys know, but that's really cool. Yeah, so I think that's quite interesting. So there are a lot of those internal storms, as you will, that we need to ride out. And you know, shout out to my storm riders, because you guys are with me and you're following. And it really resonates to me, because it helps me deal with this expansion that I'm going through, conquering a fear of failure, because when you're expanding, you're going into newer territory. Fear becomes very loud in a lot of ways, and you need to learn to kind of overcome that. And that's been happening. Again, the trip to San Diego, a lot of, you know, mini like fearful moments for different reasons, but you kind of push through regardless. Perfectionism and fear of making a mistake and fear of failure. Guys, I also recently shot my shot and a man. I don't think I've ever done, have I even ever done that before? Oh no, maybe once in university, and I was rejected then too. So I was rejected. Woo! And this is a very vulnerable moment and kind of awkward, because I know there may be people listening to this, but I think it's important to share, because as women, we are not encouraged to try. We're not encouraged to not even hit on people. That's even kind of awkward, but I guess that's what it is. We don't take risks like men do. Men are culturally raised to take risks. I don't even think they're necessarily just biologically designed. I think they're culturally programmed to take risks. We encourage boys from young ages to go after what they want, to try. And even if you feel it's okay, brush it off, you're a man, go again. And that's great, but I think that women should be encouraged in a lot of ways and be told, yeah, you're a woman. Like, if you want this thing, try. You don't need to be aggressive. You should be very polite. I was very polite. I think it was a very sweet, polite ask. And I was laughed off, which was also a very sweet rejection. But it was a laugh. And I collected it with my chest. And I remember being so terrified to kind of like ask or to go in this general direction. Because I don't like looking foolish. I don't like looking stupid. And like, I don't make moves on people. I mean, I'm okay by myself. I don't even get hit on as often as I think people would think. It's happening more now because I'm making more of an effort to present myself in a certain way, and I guess to be open, and the signals are signaling. But I really don't even get stepped to very often. So I definitely don't do a lot of stepping to people ever. Like I said, there's only one other time in my living memory I can remember, and I was shit-faced at the time. But I don't do that anymore. I drink responsibly. In fact, I always have water near me, so always have water. Drink responsibly. Water and whatever else, but water mostly. Hydrate. Anyway, so it's important for me to share that, because you can't get what you want if you don't try for it, and you're going to face a lot of rejections. And I certainly do battle with issues of failure. I battle with perfectionism. I battle with wanting to do things a certain way. I battle with what if it doesn't work out. I struggle, and I have friends in my life at the moment who notice that and who have appointed themselves the champions of, Folu, have you done this yet? Folu, you said you were going to do this. Have you followed up? And my instinctive reflex is F you. But my second one after that is thank you so much for looking out for me, because you recognize I have this issue. Because I'm resistant to it. Because I'm like, what if it doesn't? It's not. Yeah. So anyways, thank you to all my friends that kind of check in on me and follow up with me, to old friends and new friends alike. Because again, it's the growth. It's an important growth thing, you know? And as we are growing, as we're in the season of new and exciting things, a season that I'm in right now, which is very exciting, is the season of cover girl, lead actor. Red Circle is out in no time. It's out in no time. That's so exciting. The official premiere release date is 6th of June, but the the premiere is this weekend. It's on Saturday. It's on the 31st of May. And even before that, we have an advanced screening that's going to be happening on the Thursday, which is the 29th. And I'm so excited. The tickets for that sold out in 5 minutes. The I Said What I Said podcast girls are brilliant. And their community is crazy strong. So they told them, guys, come see an advanced screening with us. And that's what's happening. And we're like, thank you so much for supporting the film. So I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, so exciting new growth phase. Red Circle is coming out. That's the new space that I'm in as well. And I'm just so grateful for all the love, all the support, all the warmth. I had a friend call me today and she was like, girl, just tell me where you're going to be on the 6th of June. Like, I'm coming to watch it with you. We're going to take pictures. And I it means a lot. And she's like, I don't want to come to the premiere. I want to pay money so that I can support your numbers in the cinema. And that's the kind of support I'm talking about. So I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. It's a really exciting time for me, and for a lot of people, and for the whole team that's worked on Red Circle, by the way. I think it's huge what's happening. And come rain, come shine, whatever happens in terms of final cinema numbers in the UK, in wherever else in the world it comes out, I'm just glad that we dared greatly, because it is yielding so many positive results in all of our lives. Yeah, so I think that's all I really wanted to share this episode, is just there's growth happening in uncomfortable spaces. We should be stretching. We should be overcoming. There are internal storms to ride out, but we will ride them out. One just has to have faith. And I want you guys to just be in that frame of mind that so many things are possible. You're never too old. It's never too late. And this was part of what triggered in my brain whilst I was going through experiences I was going through in San Diego. And the multiple things that have been happening in my life since. So that's it. If you've got this far in the podcast, whether it's the audio version or it's the YouTube version, comment a little arrow going up, because we going up, baby, to the top. That's it for Stormcast this week. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're up on YouTube. Thank you. It would help so much. And if you're listening to the audio version, please hit the download button. Not just the follow, but the download. That really helps as well. It helps numbers, helps stats. And yeah, give me feedback. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, etc., etc. But that's it from me. The Stormcast is done. Even the storm is done. So that's it. Bye-bye. Yep, so the book I was talking about by Brené Brown is called The Gifts of Imperfection. Meanwhile, enjoy this little montage for those of you who are watching on YouTube. And now it really is it for the Stormcast this week. I'll see you same time next week. Bye-bye. San Diego has been lit. It's cool.